we are in Peniche, Portugal, where the biofilter is placed. This is the unit where we keep most of our equipment, a repurposed shipping container. In the background, you can see the fish aquaculture facility where we get our water from, SEAentia. Over here, you can see where the water enters and leaves the system from. On the top, you have the green hose that allows the new water to get in. And on the bottom, the blue barrel where we have a pump that is connected to our drainage system and SEAentia's wastewater exit. Over here, we have the water's heat control system, composed by a circulating pump and a water chiller. Let's take a look inside. Let's start with the water entrance. On the left, inside the system, we have the water meter and the UV filtration system. On the bottom, we have a faucet and a float valve that keeps the water level stable. The water falls into the sump and is then pumped to the first of the raceway tanks through this pipe over here, which also directs the water to the Jubaco system. But we will get to that part a little later on the video. As you can see, as the water fills up and tips the wave tipper, it creates a wave. As the water overpasses the height of the pipes, it pours into the next raceway's tipper, and this process is repeated throughout the 4 tanks, until the water reaches the sump again. On the 4th tank, as you can see here, we have the airing system. The 2 pipes you see belong to the heating structure that you saw outside of the container. For the water to reach the Jubaco system, it is directed by these 2 peristaltic pumps, and through the pipe mentioned before, all the way up and around the container. On the right side of the system, you will now see the ventilation unit, the light switches, the outlets, and the control panels for the water and vents. The 3 black pipes behind the ventilation system lead all the way back to the Jubaco unit, supplying it with air and water from both the pipe and peristaltic pumps. Over here, at the end of the container, we see the flow meter and the airing control switches for the Jubaco unit. These control the air and water circulation of this system. Here we see some of the oyster trays that can be easily elevated and lowered as necessary. Check out some of the oysters that we have. These trays are stackable and easy to maintain, allowing the oysters to be all together but still evenly spaced, keeping a proper oyster density per tray. On the other side, you can see the place where the water goes out from, and you can control it to go directly to the blue barrel outside, or make it pass through this transparent tube to check the water's overall color. Alternatively, you can just use the purge system that is on the bottom of the container.